What are the key shots that you're looking to get to build an effective photography portfolio? Simply, quickly, and easily. Let's find out. Say hello to Zoe. Zoe's joined us in the studio today. Say hi, Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
Zoe's here and she's come dressed as Andy Pandy, haven't you, Zoe?
I'm not old enough to get that.
Now, of course, she's come dressed as our favourite character from The Wizard of Oz. It is Dorothy. She's come with the Dorothy dress, the Dorothy pigtails, and most importantly, the ruby slippers, which in the book were silver slippers, but MGM at the time, when they made The Wizard of Oz, wanted to take advantage of the fact that it was one of the first Technicolor movies, and they thought that silver slippers wouldn't be effective enough in the on-screen presentation of such a key element, so they changed it to red ruby slippers, which meant that when they sold the rights to Lucasfilm, decades later, they sold the rights to The Wizard of Oz to produce Return of Oz. That cost Lucasfilm next to nothing. But the rights to the slippers were owned by MGM, and that cost millions of pounds. And they had a huge legal discussion over that because Lucasfilm knew they could buy the rights to the Wizard, but it wasn't worth anything if they didn't have any ruby red slippers, which were the property of MGM Studios.
The more you know.
Welcome to the photography tutorial. My name's James. Today we're going to build an effective portfolio with Zoe's Halloween costume of choice here, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. And what we're going to do here is we're going to show you how you can set up a simple 2-light setup that you don't have to change or move or do or think anything about, so that you can then just focus on building an effective, good quality, consistent portfolio of images. The first thing we need to bear in mind when we're shooting Zoe's amazing portfolio here is colour harmony and colour combination, because the first decision we need to make before we even think about turning on a light is what background we're going to use to shoot these images. And we've chosen our yellow Van Gogh sunflower backdrop with hints of yellow and orange in there. That yellow tone is going to work with the prime colours. Are they prime colours before I say they're prime colours? Definitely. I'm getting a nod off camera, okay? Because there's different types of prime RGB in television, for example, the prime colours of television colours, but that doesn't work here because there's no green in it, so I don't want to look like an idiot. All of these colours make up other colours. So yellow, blue, and red for the ruby red slippers, the ruby red shoes, which were white up until half an hour ago, weren't they?
Yes.
Yes, we've made them look red because we don't need to use AI for that. We use actual physical paint because we're proper creatives.
When you were talking before, I was like, I think the word he's looking for is primary colours.
Primary?
Primary colours.
Oh.
Green.
Yeah, primary colours.
You were saying prime and you were like,
Are they prime colours before I say they're prime colours?
colours.
What?
But you were saying primary colours.
What? I think you said prime colours. Okay.
Maybe it's just your accent.
Wow.
Sorry, we speak the Queen's English.
Kings.
Queen.
Right, come here. Zoe won't let go, will you? You won't move on. And I think this is King Charles's country, King Charles's money, King Charles's stamps, and the time of King Charles. It's all King Charles's time.
I don't remember hearing Queen Elizabeth be like, you know what? It's all yours, mate. See ya. She didn't.
Lizzie forever.
Lizzie
Long live
forever.
Lizzie.
She did live long, that was part of the thing. Okay, let's not get into that. There are likely to be royalists watching this, so we need to watch our footing. Okay? There we go, right, we're in. So, this is now a 2-part video. So the first thing we need to decide on is what background we're going to use, because that's the hardest thing for us to get up and down in the studio in terms of rearranging the whole set. So we've decided to drop down our yellow backdrop, which is going to work in terms of using the 3 prime colours. We've got the red slippers, the blue dress, and now the yellow backdrop. These are the prime colours. If you mix yellow with blue, you get green. If you mix blue with red, you get purple. And if you mix red with yellow, you will get orange. Those are the secondary colours. I've just worked out in my head, I am talking sense, that's right. So with this simple colour scheme, which is what I like to call it the Superman colour scheme, because it's the colours that Superman wears, so it's easy to remember. All of these colours are at equal proportions on the colour wheel, so they're going to work in balance together. So once we've set up the backdrop, we need to set up our lighting pattern, and I'm going to set up the simplest lighting pattern I know for effective portfolio photography that's going to look consistent all the way along. I'm going to set up my Elinchrom 3 here up on a big tripod with an octabox on the end of it there, giving me nice soft light going straight across, up and above, 45 degrees up, 45 degrees round, 45 degrees up and 45 degrees down towards Zoe. And if we were to draw a line through the softbox, it would hit just above Zoe's eye line there, giving us nice natural light into the portrait. But as a second to that, I'm going to bring in this reflector panel here on the opposite side. So that means all of the light coming from this octabox here is going to hit this white reflector panel here. It's going to bounce back and it's going to give us a little bit of fill light on this left-hand side as we look at it. It's not going to be more powerful than our main light, but it is going to give us a little bit of fill and control. The final light that I'm going to add to this is a fill light, and this is just a fail-safe to fill light back into the photograph that otherwise wouldn't be there. It's about a stop underexposed from my main light, and I've put it up here on a tripod on the panoramic softbox, and it's on an Elinchrom 1 wireless flash head. And I can work just through this channel here to photograph Zoe nice and cleanly against this yellow backdrop. The first image that I'm going to try and capture for our portfolio is just a full-length portrait. And when I take the full-length portrait, I'm going to see how all the lights are working together, where the shadows, if there are any shadows, are falling, and where any amendments need to be made. Zoe, being an amazing, respected, professional model, is going to just give us a nice, simple pose, showcasing those ruby red slippers and this amazing dress. From just around about less than eye level, I'm just going to come down here, try and fill the frame, and 3, 2, 1, go. A very simple portrait there, easy, with all of those colors working together. I've got good exposure throughout the portrait. And we're shooting this image here, and we're shooting this whole portfolio. I'm not going to change any of the settings. I'm going to shoot ISO 100. I'm going to shoot f8. I'm going to shoot 1/160th of a second to get me standard shutter speed sync. I'm not going to move or change any of the lights. We have a main light there firing in at that f8 exposure. We've got the fill light here, giving me a little bit of lift, one stop underexposed from that, and I've got my bounce light there. So I don't need to worry about the lights. I don't need to worry about the placement of the lights, and I don't need to worry about my camera settings. Now all I need to worry about is my connection with the model, my cropping in camera, and my choice of lens and focal length, and my position and angle throughout the shoot. Once we start working with those variables, we can start to create a slightly dynamic portfolio within a really, really quick space of time. So the first thing that we can amend to create variety within the portfolio is posing. So what I'm going to do, because I'm happy with the setup, I'm happy with the way that the light's falling on Zoe here, I'm going to come back and get her to do some flow posing. What that means is that every time Zoe sees a flash, she's going to change and pose and do something different. She's going to remember all the way throughout the shoot that posing starts from the feet up. So wherever you place your feet, that determines what you do with your hips, determines what you do with your shoulders, determines what therefore you can do with your hands, your arms, your head, and creates shape and form throughout the portrait. So without giving her too much direction, I'm just going to allow her to stand in positions that feel natural and comfortable to her, because if she feels comfortable in the picture, she's going to look comfortable in the resulting portrait. Would that be fair to say?
Sure.
Sure. Lovely. What a ringing endorsement for my brand that is. Right, here we go, Zoe. We're going to give it a go here. So in 3, 2, 1, different poses every time. Every time you see a flash, just going to change. Change, change, change. Perfect, one more. Beautiful. And all of a sudden we have a varied selection of images there, working on that simple color scheme. What a lovely shot that is. And giving us nice variety within the shoot. So that's the first thing you can do to add variety to your portfolio. You can use those elements of posing, you can give direction, and I would try to give little bits of encouragement as we're going all the way through. Even if it's going terribly, Zoe, I'll often say that it's going well. In fact, the better I say it's going, probably the worse it's going, because I need to reaffirm that with our model. That's absolutely not how it works. But it is important to give reassurance as we're going through and to have that two-way relationship, because that's the key to great photography. Great photographs are a collaborative process. It's as much about the person in front of the lens as it is the person behind the lens, if not more so about the person in front of the lens?
I'd say so.
Good. The second thing that we can do is we can change focal length. Now I'm shooting here as what I always say is my favourite lens, my 24 to 105 f4 lens. Gives me good variety in the shoot, doesn't go too long, it's not too heavy, it opens up to f4 if I want to use it outside. 24 is quite a wide angle, 105 is quite a long focal length to get me different things. What I can do is I can just zoom this up to just around about 50 mil on there, so about halfway on the focal length, and we'll be able to create dynamic half-length portraits, just focusing on the shape of the dress. So by giving direction to Zoe, and the direction I'm going to give you is just to play with the dress a little bit, just pinch it side to side and just create shape and form. We're just going to see if we can just create a slightly different, that's great, hold that there. That's great, perfect, one more. Perfect. From that 50 mil focal length, we've got a range now of half-length portfolio shots, some of which you weren't blinking in.
Yay!
Yay, that's good. But we've got a range of 50 mil portraits there that are now half length. So we've added something to the portfolio by just zooming in even closer. Because Zoe's spent a lot of time in hair and makeup as usual. Is that blush, is that a lot of blush you got on your face?
No?
No, just natural skin colour. Have a look at the natural skin tones there on Zoe's cheeks.
No, I thought your skin colour isn't this.
Yeah, so always work on that rapport with your models. Always pays off in the long run. Now we can focus more on head and shoulder shots for the portfolio. So we're going to zoom in even closer. We're not going to move where we were. We're going back to our original position, but I'm just zooming in nice and close, and we get perfect. That's great. And again, because I've set the lights, and because I've set where we are, we don't need to change anything. One more, 3, 2, 1, go. Beautiful. One more turn to the side. Oh yeah, that was good. What you did there was great. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, good. Oh, perfect. And now we've added more head and shoulder shots into the portfolio just by zooming in on that focal length to around about 85 mil on these images here. And that's where we're going to leave this video for now, but join us next week as we take a ladder into the studio to change the angle on these images, and we also improvise with props, bringing in props to elevate the storytelling of the image. So it's a big deep dive, this one. If you've got time, visit nofussmus.com to download your free posing guide, or to download our 1 light, our 2 light, or our 3 light workshops. Like and subscribe, say nice things, and as ever, thank you very much for watching. All the very best.